transfer quarterbacks, because a few of them have now been either nominated for the Heisman or won the Heisman. So let's talk about the transfer quarterbacks this year and their best fits. Let's start with Cam Ward, transferring from Washington State. What do you think is their best fit? I'll give you what they say here, but what do you think is his best fit?
Cam Ward's best fit? I think Cam Ward's best fit is Ohio State.
And that's what they have listed, Ohio State.
If I were him, that's where I would go, because Ohio State has nothing but receivers upon receivers upon receivers. They go to the league. If you're a quarterback, the spot is open. Now, what I see is that I think he's going to go and take what's behind door number 2, and he's going to go to Miami and take that Miami money and get paid in sunshine.
Get that bag.
You just won't go to the league.
Well, speaking of getting that bag, next quarterback on the list, Dante Moore, transferring from UCLA. I can just give you his best fit. I'm laughing at it.
The best fit, I guess, probably he comes home and he plays for the University of Michigan.
See, I'm laughing at it. That is their best fit. That's
really
what they suggest. I don't think that's the best fit, though.
I don't think that's the best fit either. I don't think that he's a gigantic Wolverine fan. It all depends on what JJ is going to do, but because he's coming back home, he's a Detroit kid, King kid, he can go, and he will be handed the reins. I guess that means that there won't be an orgy on the field starting next year. It's going to be Dante Moore. I could see that. To me, if I'm Dante, I probably look around. You can't stay out on the West Coast because, I don't know. I got to look to see if they even got anybody. But you know where I would go if I was Dante? I would stay on the West Coast. I go to Washington. I would go to Washington and play under Kalen DeBoer and that system.
I think someone's visiting. I can't remember the name, but someone is visiting soon.
You get to play in the Big Ten. Your family will get to see you closer. But Kalen DeBoer is proven. Hey, if you can play anywhere near Penix, he can get you on that main stage.
Next, Will Rogers, by the way, is the quarterback that will be visiting Washington. Well, let's get right to him. Will Rogers, what is his best fit? He's transferring from Mississippi State.
That's Mike's team, the Cowbells.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could get them to sign him, yeah, if you could make it to Washington, I would go there. Will Rogers, where would he be?
They're saying best fit would be Washington State.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to do that, though, because even though technically you're Pac-12, you're taking a step down.
Correct.
And Pac-12 would be a glorified Group of 5 conference.
Let's go to Will Howard, transferring from Kansas State. They say best fit USC.
You know what? Yeah, because I can see that. He's got a lot of sizzle to his game. When he's on, man, he's fun to watch. Now, nobody watches Kansas State. I know that. Nobody does. But, yeah, when his game is rolling, that would be a good fit for him. Lincoln Riley, he would have receivers. He would have O-line. He would have the offense. And, yeah, he would have a lot more tools than what he has in Manhattan, Kansas.
Next guy on the list, and I always screw this name up. I'm going to try it again. DJ Olongalele, transferring from Oregon State, best fit, Florida State.
Wow. You know what? Yeah, I think that would. Florida State, here's what's going to happen at Florida State. They're going to have more than one quarterback next year. They will never run into this again. He was doing good out at Oregon State. He was doing good at Corvallis. For a second, I thought he was going to end up going to Michigan State because he jumped into the portal first before Aiden Childs did, and it was the bird in hand. You take him because if you take DJ, you only need him for a year. You can still take in that 5-star QB, groom him along, and Florida State feels like their window is open and they're ready. You don't want to go with a freshman QB. So, no, I think that would be a good fit for them.
Next QB on the list, Kyle McCord. He's transferring from Ohio State. They say best fit, Nebraska.
Yeah, a lesser Big Ten school, I would say. So, yeah, Nebraska's there. Matt Rule going to try to get things fixed. I mean, he's got supposedly Raiola's kid, Dom Raiola. The kid is coming in to be the quarterback. But, yeah, less pressure. There's pressure at Nebraska, but it's less pressure than Ohio State. Now, Nebraska's crazy. Nebraska football is all they have. But I think a step down in the Big Ten. He's still a Big Ten QB. David, he wasn't ready for the bright lights. And he kind of proved it in that game when he threw the pick early. He settled down, but then when the chips were on the table, he threw another pick.
So let's do this. Let's close it out with a few quarterbacks that have already made their decision. Let's react to it. Grayson McCall transferring from Coastal Carolina to NC State. Your thoughts on that?
That's a nice upgrade for NC State. I mean, he was a pretty good quarterback at Coastal Carolina. He's going to be a guy that can go out there, sling the ball around at NC State. I think NC State got a good job. He's still kind of close to where he was. That's a good pickup for NC State.
Next is Duke quarterback Riley Leonard.
He
announced his transfer to Notre Dame.
Yes. This is one where both teams won because Riley Leonard was good. Duke was good. Duke was rolling. Duke was knocking off teams, and then he got hurt. It's the reason why Mike Elko's name was being mentioned for Michigan State a long time ago, because when you went to Duke, they were beating you, and Leonard was the reason why. Now you get to upgrade. Now you get to go to Notre Dame with better players, I think a better coach, better facilities. Yeah, that was a win-win. Notre Dame is showing me we're not recruiting quarterbacks. We're just going to go and get that best guy in his final year and bring him here.
And then finally, Tyler Van Dyke in year 15 going to Wisconsin.
I mean, if you're Wisconsin, I guess you're just not going to recruit quarterbacks. Now, see, this is where I don't think this is a good fit. I think that Wisconsin should really go out there and develop somebody. You're not USC where you can go out there and win and get a bunch of transfers in. You gotta Wisconsin, when they were great, was all about being homegrown. They were all about their guy. And Van Dyke's been around for so long. Not that great, David. I'm out on this one. I don't see this. Luke Fickell really, he dropped the ball. Luke, you had a honeymoon period. You should have developed a QB. You've now gone into the transfer portal because they got Mordecai.
Yes, they sure do.
The SMU quarterback that didn't work out. Now you're going out and getting him, which means that guess what? Next year you got to go out and get another quarterback. If you would have did it the right way in your honeymoon period, you would be on a quarterback going into his third year. That's why, like for Jonathan Smith at Michigan State, I'm okay if you can go get Aiden Childs, the transfer from Oregon State, redshirt freshman, let him develop so that in a few years he's your guy.
See,
because when you're a lesser team and you start chasing quarterbacks, you keep chasing and you never catch up.
See, and correct me, I just have the opinion. I know Aiden Childs has been rumored to go to Michigan State. When we talked about Dante Moore, I thought the best fit for him was Michigan State, but Aiden Childs is probably the guy.
Aiden Childs is a better fit because he knows the system.
Correct.
Because Jonathan Smith brought his offensive coordinator, the O-line coach, the tight ends, his entire offensive coaching staff is there. Now, if it was another place, then yeah, Dante Moore would have been the best fit there. But you don't have to teach him anything. He comes in and in spring ball, he's teaching the offense to the players and saying, hey, you need to go here. This is what this play means. This is the tree that we're going to throw to. Yeah, that makes more sense only because he brought his entire staff with him.
And that is your transfer portal college football blitz.